Oh, hey, what's up? We're on Cote's Cube. This is awesome for me because one of my favorite goofy footers in the world is here. Mr. Todd Glaser, what's up?
Cote's Cube. Cote's Cube, yeah. Cote's Cube. Yeah. Cote's Cube.
For those of you who don't know Todd, we're going to do a quick history lesson. You started off at a very young age, a professional bodyboarder, and how did that whole thing turn into photography?
And when I was 12, maybe, I started doing little bodyboard contests and that sort of thing. And then 13, I went over to Hawaii for the first time and kind of got thrown in with the older guys and just surfing bigger waves, and then fell in love with it ever since.
It really evolved into when bodyboarding kind of went off the contest thing and it went to the gnarliest waves in the world. You guys were pretty much the pioneers of finding those slabby waves, right?
Yeah, it was funny because the friends that I grew up with that were my age, a lot of them kept going down the contest route, and I started traveling and chasing waves.
The video stuff.
And yeah, going more on the photo and video side of things. So that was where I kind of got into photography. Is I'd go on these bodyboard trips for Bodyboarding magazine, and the photographers that we were traveling with were guys like Jeff Flint and Tim Jones, and guys that were amazing water photographers.
Right.
And then eventually they, I think they started transitioning more into shooting a lot more surfing. And that's when some friends and I, we would all, one of us would have a camera.
One of the friends, you take turns.
And we would we would literally take turns. We'd go to Puerto Escondido for 2 months with one camera, and we would just take turns. Okay, it's your day to shoot fisheye.
Yeah,
and we all had we only had one camera and a fisheye and one type of film. We didn't know what to do, so we would come home from a month or two there and have 20 rolls of only fisheye photos.
Yeah.
On those trips, it was really fun because we'd go to these amazing places, and there was no one there to document it, so we would literally just take turns. Okay, my turn to get barreled, and it was easier back then because everything was on film. So once you finished your roll of film, you knew it was your turn to go ride waves.
Right. Dude, now you're at Surfer Magazine. You're getting covers.
Yeah.
The last cover of the California Pipeline, they're calling it, of Oliver Kurtz. Insane.
Thank you.
Congrats to you and to Oliver. That shot was hair-raising. So you just got back from Europe. You had some incredible sessions over there. One in particular that I just saw on the internet. Kelly Slater, Aritz, Seabass. You guys were all at the cave for a session that we were talking about it the other day. You said it was one of the best sessions that you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So we showed up and there's nobody there.
It was as good as it gets.
And it was 10 feet and bombing, and we had to find the path to go down because we didn't know how to get down. And we go down, and as we're walking down the path, there's I don't know, 10-footer or 5 waves in a row that were huge, and we looked at each other, we're all right, I think he had a 6'1" maybe. And so we swim out, he paddles out and I swim out, and we surfed for about 2 hours before Aritz showed up.
Right.
So we were out there by ourselves, just where's the lineup, what do we do? And there were waves that you could only ride the biggest waves because the smallest ones, there were dry rocks that were sticking out, and everyone says it's only surfable at high tide. And of course with Kelly, his theory is that it's better at low tide.
Yeah.
And so, I was in the water, and there were a couple waves that I was shooting where I'd kick the reef trying to get through the back and just hoping and go over the falls. And it was an incredible session.
And we're going to see that session in probably the next Surfer Magazine?
Yeah, probably in Surfer Magazine the next couple of months.
Probably on the cover. Obviously North Shore season's coming up. You always seem to do really well over there. What is your deal for this year? How do you stand above the pack of thousands of photographers that are going to be there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't stress you out?
No, I don't know. I mean, my primary focus is always just shooting pipeline. That's the wave that interests me the most, and I think makes for the best images. And the performance, the level of surfing there is phenomenal, but I'm always I'd rather just see a nice tube.
Yeah.
So I just try and focus
I
on
like
the
to
waves
see the nice tubes that you shoot. Todd, where can the people out there watching Cote's Cube get more Todd Glaser in their lives? Your Instagram, you have a website?
Yeah, I have a website that's www.tglaser.com.
Oh, easy.
And then my Instagram is, I think it's just my name, Todd Glaser.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
I follow you. 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 Todd Glaser.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Cote's Cube.